Hello, welcome to another video. Thanks for joining me. And in this video, I will be talking about Southwest Airlines with focus on the stock's performance. Recently, the airline has been struggling to just keep people flying. Obviously, that is all due to the fact that 737 has been grounded, plus the pandemic that we're experiencing. Now, if you know the history of Southwest, you should know that Southwest is one of the biggest low-cost carriers in the world, actually, with a very simplified flying system or design, from their hubs to their boarding process and to the airplanes that they actually fly. Although this has been a very beneficial thing for them to have a single type of airplane, the 737, it obviously simplifies the training process, especially for like the pilots and the flight attendants. It simplifies the maintenance procedure, so the training for the mechanics and also the parts would always be easily accessible because they can easily just swap a good part from an old plane into a newer model of the same airplane type. So that makes the maintenance very easy. But then it also makes their route structure very easy as well, because they know exactly how much they need to fly within point A to point B on a type of airplane. So that makes it very easy for them to swap airplanes into different routes and still get the job done. It's been in the news that Southwest Airlines started to reduce their aircraft delivery of the 737 MAX and actually deferred some of those deliveries until 2021. And also, the current ones that are grounded are not scheduled to return until like October 2nd, I think, somewhere in that range. And that is not good for the airline. Also, they reported their first quarterly loss in 9 years. One thing that you should know about Southwest is that they've reported for the 7th consecutive year of profitability. And that is something that every airline should be proud of. In fact, they are really proud of it. And I'm really proud of that for them because, it takes a lot of, streamlining to really get that kind of profitability. And that's something that Southwest has done very well. But surprisingly, the stocks has really gone way down. In fact, looking at the 10-year chart at this moment, they went from 2013, they actually went from about $10 or so, went all the way up to about $45 and eventually climbed all the way to a high of about $65. And ever since then, it's been really struggling to break that level. And lately, it's actually gone down back to about 27. So the question is, why is this going on? What is happening? And what is likely to change these numbers? Here are my opinions. Now, first of all, I believe Southwest Airlines is a stable airline that will return to profitability in a very short term in terms of in the next couple of months. I believe once this whole pandemic goes out of the way and things start to pick up again, the airline industry in general will start to pick up again. But then Southwest Airlines already has a very good structure, a very good system going for them. The only issue also that we need to consider is the 737 MAX, because the 737 MAX not being able to fly at this moment will still hurt Southwest in some way, but that won't stop them from being profitable. So if we actually go back into their fundamentals for last year, for Q4, especially 2019, which ended December 31st, 2019, we'd see that the total liabilities for Southwest at the time was 16 million, and it increased obviously with the recent release due to this pandemic, and the revenue is very diminished because people are not flying. It increased to about 17 million. But let's go into their total income. Let's go into income statement here. Income after taxes, 482. And then we also have total net income of 513. And that is really good. Mind you, it decreased over time between Q2 of 2019 all the way to Q4 of 2019. And we got to remember that between the Q3 and the Q4 of last year was when 737 MAX issues really started. So if anything, I believe once this pandemic goes out of the way, things should return back gradually to, being profitable, the airline itself. However, they reported a loss of about 94 million for this quarter that just passed. So in my opinion, I believe that Southwest Airlines will be able to get back to profitability in a very short amount of time without any doubt at all. Because like I said, they've streamlined the processes of recruiting, flying the airplanes they fly, the routes they fly, and also the customer service is pretty good. And I believe the airline should return to profit. Now, the question is, with the current stock price, what can an investor be doing? In my opinion, again, I believe, if you have a long-term plan, this is a good time to actually buy Southwest Airlines. Why? Because if we go back to the chart, performance in the last 10 days has gradually started picking up again. It stayed within the resistance of about $25 and had a support of about, which isn't a strong support, but I'll say about $23. And it's gradually picking up again. And I believe that trend should continue upwards. So if you have some extra money that you think you're not going to use and you want to invest in the airlines, I don't think Southwest will be a wrong move. Like I said, the last year was a 47th consecutive year of profitability. That's very strong for an airline to have. In fact, then Delta, United, and these other airlines can't report that. So Southwest has got something going for them, and I believe in them. If you think you found some value in this video, kindly give this video a thumbs up. It's just a short video that I decided to make, and I hope you learned something. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing because it helps my channel as well. See you in my next video.